Ready Player One just came out, directed by Steven Spielberg. Based on a book that was written by Ernest Cline. And if you want the best version of this story, check out the Audible book. It's read by Will Wheaton. Does a great job of doing all the voices throughout the entire thing. This is a spoiler-full review. So if you are interested in checking this out, go see the movie. It's good. That's just right there. It's just good. It's good. It's not as good as the book or the Audible version is. I think Will Wheaton adds to the experience. And I think there's not very many scenes that I wish that they would have put into the movie, because you also have to understand the book has so much more information, because a paragraph of describing what it's seeing can be done with a single picture. So anytime that you have a book and a movie, you're trying to condense down to 2 hours and stuff. The point being is that there's a lot in a book that can be there. There's no time limit for how long a book has to be, but a movie has to get your story across and all that stuff in 2 hours. And I think that the movie does that. The movie gives you the 2 hours and explains to you all the stuff that's going on. You have your hero who, Wade, Artemis, and H, and Sojo, and God, I can't remember the two brothers, the Japanese brothers, the samurais. Can't remember their names right now. Sho and something, Gaijo? No? Anyways, the plot of the whole thing, the creator of the Oasis, this VR world, dies. He has majority control over the Oasis and has tons and tons of money that could really impact the world's economy. So your main character, he wants to beat the game because he wants to play video games. He wants to beat it. He wants to win. In winning, you get his fortune and control over the company. So your big corporations want that. They want that control. So they hire hundreds and thousands of people that are basically supposed to try and solve these puzzles. But to actually be good at this game, you really have to be a true gamer kind of thing. That's kind of the premise that they throw at you. And you really have to have that kid's heart and that imagination and all that stuff to solve these problems. So the main character, Wade, is one of the smartest about it, and he ends up figuring it out, finds out that this girl who has a podcast and is really big and vlogs and all that stuff, she's really big in the Oasis world. She's a celebrity. She's a YouTube celebrity kind of thing, or a Twitch streaming celebrity. He's in love with her. He's got a crush on her. He runs into her. He meets her while going through the first challenge, which in the movie is the racing scene, which it's probably one of my biggest gripes with this movie. They switched out the D&D references and the joust challenge for a crazy ass death race Mario Kart style thing, and it seemed it wasn't as engaging. And they totally could have done like an Indiana Jones thing with it. They could have done a whole thing with really cool CGI stuff with the Lich. I can't remember his name. Something. I think it was like the Tomb of Annihilation or something like that in D&D. One of the iconic D&D games or campaigns modules. And in the movie, they just do a racing scene, which he figures out because he was like studying things that Halliday has said. Halliday being the creator. And then you go into the second challenge and the third challenge and all that stuff, and everything, it fits. It's fun. It's great. I enjoyed the movie. Ogden Morrow, which his character, I wish actually his avatar would have been in the story. I kind of understand they just needed to cut some stuff, so cool. The ending of the movie I thought was expected, but I'm glad it did play out the way it did and made it a little more climactic or a little more suspenseful, which is what the movie needs. You can't really have this slow ending. The final fight scene could have been a little better played out and stuff. Overall, though, I really enjoyed this movie. They did a great job of creating an additional piece of art that goes along with Ready Player One. Highly recommend, if you enjoyed the movie, go check out the Audible book with Will Wheaton reading. It's great. It's I think it's $15 you pay for 1 month of Audible. You can go through that book. I think it's 8 or 12 hours in the Audible version. You can even speed up the voices, but it does a really great job. It fills in a lot of the gaps in the whole story. Now, as far as the movie goes, a lot of the references and things, I heard they weren't able to get licensing for a lot of the different things that they wanted to do, specifically the second challenge with The Shining, which by all means, I think that was way more interesting than what they actually did in the book. So I actually give them props to using The Shining in that. I don't think it was played out and played enough in the movie. I don't think they utilized that enough. But I thought it was a really good switch that they had to do because they couldn't get licensing. There was the CGI and everything for all the characters, the way they looked and whatnot. I had a couple gripes with it, but it's just like stylish things that I prefer that they didn't do this or they didn't do that or they did this instead. But overall, it was not bad. I really enjoyed it. It's probably one of the better movies that I've seen in quite a while now. Looking at you, Pirates of the Caribbean, whatever the last installment was terrible. Overall, it's got a recommendation from me. I'm Eric from the Itch Network.